All right, here we go. And we are live. How's it going, everybody? This is Jose Trujillo. This is a little live session we're about to do right now. And let's go. Let's do this. This is a 16 by 20 inches canvas, stretch canvas, that is. This is how we start, okay? One of the things that I like to do is just start with the painting. You know, so oftentimes we get sidetracked by the minutia in an art piece. And what I mean by minutia is it's not talking about the painting itself, but what we think of it, how you perceive it, and on and on. Those things are they're really not good for the artist. But for some reason, the artist tends to put a lot of attention on those things. They're really not good for the artist to be thinking so much about the artwork and what. I think what is more important is to be highly productive. Now, this is something that you realize over time, and you realize also over experience, not just time, but experience. Experience will show you that the most important part is not necessarily how well you paint something, or that's a given. That'll happen, or how unique your subject matter is, or whatever. It's how prolific you are. Really, how productive and prolific you are, that will determine more of your career, you know, as an artist, as opposed to all the other stuff. Marketing and all of those things, of course, but how prolific are you in marketing? Not just how clever you are. That's not going to get you anything. Any good marketer knows that doesn't get you anything. It's how prolific you are in marketing. You know, sales, the same thing. How many closes do you have as a salesperson? How many ways to follow up someone do you have as a salesperson? Do you make a phone call? Do you send an email? If so, how many times? Right? And how, and on and on and on. It's really about productivity. This is something that I stumbled on later on in my life. Where in the beginning I was so convinced before I went pro, I was so convinced that it was the way that you painted, or it was the colors that you use, and on and on and on and all that other BS. But the reality is that it's none of that. Does it matter? Of course it does. It makes you feel better. It makes you feel, you know, a certain palette, a certain colors. Of course it does matter, but ultimately it's not that. Ultimately, it's your energy. You know, so many artists ask themselves, "Man, how come I can't sell?" Dude, you're not putting enough energy out. You know, how come I can't? People are not buying my artwork, or people don't care about my artwork, or I don't get art exhibits, and on and on. And I'm here to tell you, look, it has nothing to do with that. It's how much energy you're putting out into the world. And what I mean by that, I'm not talking about energy as in muchas gracias, Esteban. Not energy as in like airy-fairy, you know, woo-woo type of stuff, which is totally fine. I mean, but I'm talking about like physical energy, you know. How much physical energy? Because that will determine whether you succeed at the game or you don't. And often, again, we fall into the idea that, oh no, all I have to do is just come up with a really clever way of painting, or a really clever painting, or or something that no one has ever seen before, and on and on and on. Chances are you're not going to come up with that unless you do a few thousand on them. You know, chances are it's not going to come alone. Like Picasso said, I believe in inspiration, but it has to find you working, right? Inspiration has to find you. If inspiration doesn't find you working, there's no way it's going to happen. How's it going, Kelly? So this is one of the reasons I'm completely unapologetic when it comes to creating artwork. And not everybody likes what I do. Some people are like, oh my God, it's a total mess. Some people swear by it, and they even spend their life savings to acquire some of my more larger pieces. You know? And some people think that the work is not good enough, whatever the hell that means, right? And so we have all sorts of things happening in our minds, but not productivity. All kinds of things happen in an artist's mind except productivity. And that's not always the case, but that seems to be the majority of cases with artists. One of the things that I tell artists all the time is, well, don't try to get good. Try to get frequent. Watch your life change when you get frequent. Most of us are trying to get good at something. You know? When you get frequent, two things happen. Actually, more than two things happen, but two things that I can come up with right now. Two things happen. You get really good at what you do, number one. And number two, you get tremendous amount of exposure when you get frequent. So here we go. By the way, guys, this painting is available in my eBay shop. I think I'm going to auction this. Other works are there too as well, if you guys want to check them out. Also, I want to remind you, I'm still doing the coaching, even though I haven't talked about it much lately. I'm still doing the coaching. Those of you who are interested in learning how to make a living as an artist or how to take it to the next level, we can do a little 15-minute chat over the phone and determine whether I can help you or where you're at. If what I have to share with you is for you or not. And you'll determine that. But it's a 15-minute free call. And then we go from there. Those of you who are like, man, I don't need coaching, cool. It's really difficult to go to high levels without really having accountability or someone to help you chop down a real plan. So, just want to tell you that. Look at that. Boom, baby. All right, guys. Hope you have an amazing day. Take care, and I will talk to you soon. Oh, let me get this close up. Look at that. Pure energy, baby. Just energy.